All right, week 14. We're going to go over APIs. First things first, what is an API? An API is an application program interface. And it's essentially just code from a third-party source, and it lets you utilize a fully working application on your own website. So it's pretty popular. A lot of people love using them, and I hope you guys are going to be able to enjoy using them. There's different kinds. There's really big ones. There's really small ones. An example of a really small one that we've already used is Google Fonts. That's actually an API. Um, the one that we're going to get into today, which is a little bit more robust, is Google Maps API. Not super terrible, not super complicated to use, but it's just a little bit bigger. One thing that you guys need to know about APIs is that they're all different. They all come with different documentation, and some of the documentation is not going to be super easy to understand. I think the reason for that is that developers are kind of bad at explaining things. So it can range anywhere from taking 2 hours to 30 minutes to a couple days to try to use one. So just keep that in mind. Every API is going to be different, and all the documentation is going to be different every time. Um, so the very simple one, what we're going to do today is Google Maps. The very first thing that we need is a script tag. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Script source, HTTP, and it's maps.googleapis.com /maps/API/JS. Cool. So if you guys want to copy that, you can go ahead and do that right now. The next thing that I'm going to need is I'm going to display the info into the body of my HTML, right? So I'm going to create a div, and I'm going to give it an ID of Google Map. And then after that, just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and do inline styling. So I'll say style with 500px, and then I will also give height of 380px. Cool. After that, I'm going to go ahead and just write the script underneath instead of using my main.js, just to show you guys. Cool. So now inside of this, we need to start coding out what we want to happen, right? So I'm going to create a function, and I'll call it initialize. And then inside of that, I'm going to make an object, and I'm going to call it mapprop equals. And then I'm going to create some properties. This is going to be center, new. What this is for, this is for the coordinates. So I'm going to say latitude and longitude. 37. These numbers are coordinates. The first one is latitude, the second one is longitude. Cool. The next thing that I'm going to adjust is the zoom property, which you guys can try starting at 5 and then mess around with it, see what the zoom property does if you change it. This one, map type ID, what this is actually changing, this is going to specify what type of map I want to be displayed, right? So I'm going to say roadmap. Cool. And then after that, I need a variable. I'm going to call it map equals new dot map, and then say document dot get element by ID and Google Map, because that's the ID that we had in our div, right? And then say map prop. Cool. And then after that, we need the function to run, so we're going to create an add a DOM listener. Window, load, initialize. Cool. So this should be working. There's a good chance that I might get some errors, but let's open it up and see what happens. Okay, cool. So it is working actually. So this is Google Maps. It's now calling in this working application into our website. So if you guys wanted to add your location, like let's say you in your portfolio, you know, if employers are like, oh well, you know, this guy's applying. I wonder how close he is to us. You know, the commute. I feel like that matters, right? So you can actually include the location in your portfolio. You can do it for anything. We've had people that have made games using the Google Maps API. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it. So this is the simple, basic working version of it. What I want you guys to do actually is go through. In the Galaxy Guide, it should be page 199 to page 200. There's different things that you can add. Like you can add a marker to your map. Try changing the location, right? You could change the latitude and longitude. You can change the zoom property. You can make the map have no controls. There's like there's a bunch of different things that you can do with that. You guys know how on Craigslist sometimes they have you can specify whether you want your full location to be there or if you want to put the general location. Try to see if you guys can work something out like that. So go ahead and experiment with this. See what you guys can come up with. Just mess around on it, and I hope you have fun with it.